This is Wild Phil with Wild Phil's Osophy. Let's get fucking wild. We are here today with Mehdi Amani.
Yes, sir.
Is that how you say it? Mehdi Amani?
Yeah, that's exactly how you say it.
I used to get it mixed up with Adrian Ayala. Because Ayala sounds like, it sounds Arabian or Middle Eastern, no?
No, not at all. That sounds
I'm just thinking of
Spanish or Mexican.
I'm just thinking of what the terrorists in True Lies were screaming. That's what I pictured.
Oh no, that they were actually very close. Very close.
Yalla, yalla.
Yalla,
right?
yalla. That means hurry, hurry.
Yeah. It's like arriba, right?
Arriba, yes. Or the Koreans would say bali, bali. That means yalla, yalla.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I lived in Korea for a couple of years. I used to just yell that shit out to my students. I'd be like, bali, bali. Let's go, let's go.
Yeah. So you were a teacher?
Yeah, I was a teacher for 15 years. I worked in education for about 20. The first 5 was at a daycare when I was like 16 to about 22, 20. And then, 22. Yeah, no, I actually worked at a daycare for 9 years until I got, 9 years. And then at a JCC, at a Jewish Community Center, actually.
What,
in Northbrook.
What did you teach? Like, did you have like a special
just
class?
Just daycare. You know, I was just a teacher's aide at that time, you know?
Okay, yeah,
so it was fun. You know, the kids were cute, you know, like it was perfect for a student who's going through high school, college.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, I got my degree in education, and then I taught in Chicago for two years, and then I went overseas. I went to Korea, the UAE, and then finally Saudi Arabia. So I just got back in 2022. So I was gone from 2012 to 2022.
Were you born in Chicago?
No, I was born in Iran. Okay. I came over when I was 5 to Chicago, and then just been in Chicago ever since.
Yeah. Do you have family there?
In Iran? Yeah. They're still there.
You visit them?
I visited them back in 2012, and then but that's it.
2001 September
11th. I was at home.
Okay.
So I have an alibi.
Eating popcorn?
I was sleeping, actually. I was sleeping because I was in college. You know, it's so funny to talk about this because now that I hang out with like younger comedians,
yeah,
and then 9/11 comes up,
yeah,
they're like, "Where were you?" And I was like, "I was sleeping because I was a freshman in college."
Yeah,
and they're like, "Wow, you were in college in 2001 when they weren't even born yet, or they were maybe 2 years old."
Yeah.
It's like my old man story. And, I remember I was sleeping, and I wake up seeing the Twin Towers fall, and right away I was like, inside job. Yeah. Inside job, there's no way. And, and then,
were you, did you think you faced, like, racism because of that shit?
No, not
never
at all.
Hit you?
Not at all, no.
I think white people hype it up with the white knight shit.
You
don't understand what they're going through. Well, ask them.
Yeah.
You know?
I remember when I came back, everyone's like, "Oh, being," because the words changed. The 10 years I was gone, like wokeism hit.
Yeah,
and of course, some of it is good. Like the Me Too movement happened. There's always some good to things. Like there was toxic masculinity. That term, it was overused. However, there was some truth to it. I mean, there was like your dad, probably my dad. Both had toxic masculinity. I can only imagine you weren't hugged. Were you hugged as a kid by your dad?
No.
Yeah, that's how we came up. Yeah, I was never punched, thank God. I was hit, but never punched. Punched. So there was some good that came from it. But when I got here, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Because I basically stepped into a time machine and left for 10 years. And when I came back, I remember one of the first conversations I had, this lady was like, "Yo, how does it feel for someone like you being BIPOC?" And I was like, it was the first time I ever heard that term. I was like, "What do you mean by BIPOC?" She's like,
I don't know what that is.
Black, indigenous person of color. And I'm like, dude, I've been trying all my life just to be American.
Yeah.
When am I going to get that label?
Yeah.
And I know she was coming from a good place, but again, the knightism, as you said. I was like, I don't want any other label on me except for American.
Well, that's the thing is that there's a lot of hate. Like, we gotta be careful right now with current events. But like, there's a lot of people I think who hate on like immigrants like you and me who do love this country.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I would say the healthcare system is absolutely fucked,
Yeah.
but everything else is fucking great.
Yeah,
Like,
I always make the analogy of like I'm a Bears fan,
yeah,
but the Bears are absolute pieces of shit.
yeah,
But I'm a Bears fan. I have recommendations and suggestions as to what they can do to improve,
yeah,
but I'm always going to be a Bears fan.
yeah,
Same thing with America. I lived in 5 countries.
yeah.
You know, I lived in 5
Dude,
countries.
that's what I love it too. When people on either side, when they're like, whether they say America's the best or the America's the worst, like, bro, you haven't left your population 9,000 town ever.
No.
Like, fucking tell me what it is when you experience some life, you know?
And it's like I've been to countries where if you don't work,
Yeah,
you're fucking homeless, dude.
yeah,
Like you are absolutely homeless.
Yeah.
Like the only way you can get by is if you get rations from the people.
Well, that's what's funny. I think Chris Bongat has a bit about how, like, there's never Asian homeless people or Middle Eastern.
That's actually true.
Like, they got their shit. They're like, I'll never be homeless. I will. This is something I will never become. It's kind of similar to with like mental illness too.
It's mental illness. I think a lot of it is mental illness because I was in Chicago. I don't know if you remember, but like there was a time when I was a kid, and now that I know history,
Yeah,
there was a time where they cut benefits for psychiatric wards, whatever you want to call them. What do you want to call them? Asylums, mental asylums.
yeah,
And then you just start. They had nowhere to put them anymore.
yeah,
And unfortunately, I don't know if you've ever been around anyone who has mental illness, like real mental illness, like anyone who's bipolar or schizophrenic. It's probably the scariest thing to have.
yeah,
It's the scariest thing to have, and for them not to have a safety net or a program that takes care of them,
yeah,
there's nowhere for them to go, and it's by far the saddest thing I think anyone can deal with, next to dementia. But again, that's a mental health issue, and if we could fix that and education and healthcare, like I mean, that goes under the umbrella of healthcare. We don't have a bad, our system is not that bad.
yeah,
Like my parents came from Iran. Like I have an uncle who was imprisoned for 2 years of his life because he was protesting
yeah,
in Iran back in the 70s or
Yeah.
80s. And here, everyone wants to say, oh, it's bad. Again, there are plenty of shortcomings in America, but this is the only place where you could be like, yo, let's go protest.
Yeah.
Okay? But what do you want to do for brunch afterwards?
yeah,
If you're planning what you're going to eat,
yeah,
it's not so bad. It's
Yeah.
not so bad.
yeah,
Back when my parents were young and they were in Iran, they had plans about, okay, if I get taken, you take care of my kids for the rest of our lives because
yeah.
chances are they're going to fucking execute me.
And it was so fucking bad that you put on the scales like, I'm willing to protest and lose everything because having this is worth going to jail for.
Exactly.
And here you could just be like, oh, you know what? I'm single. I hate my life. I went to art school and couldn't get a fucking job with that. I work as a barista. Let's protest this weekend. That's our plan.
And the thing is, go for it. But you should be happy that you have that opportunity. Mm-hmm. You should be happy that you have that opportunity.
Yeah.
Or if you have a dream like comedy. A lot of comics don't have real income coming in.
Yeah.
So, they have the umbrella, the safety net of, Medicaid and food stamps. I came up on food stamps. There's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it gives you that ability to reach for your dream.
Yeah.
This is the place where you can achieve whatever you want as long as you put in the work. Now, some people don't want to put in the work, and then they cry about it. I mean, there are real issues. There are real issues, of course. But I came here in 1988, bro. Like, that whole racism stuff.
I was born in 87.
You were born in 87? Bro,
Yeah.
you look older than me, bro.
Yeah.
I always thought you were older than me. That's fucked up. That's fucked up for you. Not for me. But yeah, man, it's a crazy time. But I love being here. I've been in other places. Other places were beautiful. Saudi was beautiful. Of course, it had its issues. Korea, beautiful. Of course, it had its issues. The UAE, beautiful, has its issues. I choose America America's problems.
Yeah.
You know, especially like with my parents telling me what they came from. It's like, okay, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I am going to say some controversial shit right now, but it's like, you remember, you know what it reminds me of? Like, remember when that whole Kanye shit went down, where it was like,
which one? He had a few.
where the slavery is an option.
I don't remember that.
You remember that shit?
Mm-mm.
They were interviewing him on a radio show, and he goes, "Slavery is an option." And you know what I think about that? I go, do you want to know why he thinks that? Besides the bipolar, the reason why he said, because that's sort of immigrant hustle. Like I know this is like weird to compare, but like to me, America is like the board game Monopoly, and it's like, okay, so these mix got the car, then these Italians got the little top hat piece, and then all these other people, whoever it was, Polish, fucking Asians, Middle Eastern, they came in and they're like, well, what part are we on here? You had to fucking make your part. You had to make a job for you. And like, I think a lot of people here, they just don't have motivation where they're just like, yeah, you know what, we're fucking. It's like, no, you find a way to fit in. That's what I call like the migrant hustle is like you find a way to fucking make ends meet. You don't go like, well, no one's hiring. No, you fucking like, I wouldn't have this place if I didn't sell drugs and weld double time. Like it's possible. You know what I mean? So when I heard that, what does that have to do with Kanye? Is because I could see, you know what I call it is like, it's a black metal song. It's called Outstriders. And it's just like, to me, what that means is people who are dealt the worst hand of cards, but they fucking win the poker game.
It's poker,
and that's what it is. And people hate those people. When you're Kanye, and you're a black guy that grew up in the hood that had every deck against him, and then you make it, all those crabs in the bucket drag him down. You know, that's what it is.
And I love that documentary he did where he. You see the documentary of him?
No.
Where it was.
I'm not even that big of a fan. I was just using that as an example.
Yeah, no, he had a documentary. It's great. Go see it. His buddy was recording his come up. Like when he was like fucking slanging his beats to people, and they were all taking advantage of him. So all the guys who already made it, they would see him and they were like, "Hey, kick me." They would invite him to the studio, and he would give him a beat, just like we would do for like guest spots, you know, like if you had like, oh, you know, I'm a photographer, I'll come take photos, and they would be like, yeah, take photos, and then with the promise of maybe you being on a show later on, and he did that for so long that he wasn't getting the kickbacks, and while you're watching it, you're like, no one, and then his buddy was like, dude, why are you doing all this hard work when they're not giving you anything back?
Yeah.
But he had a dream, he had the work ethic.
Yeah.
And he made it. I mean, he made it for whatever it's worth. Hate him or love him, he made it. He had some bangers. He had one of the best albums. You know, College Dropout was amazing. Do I agree with everything he says? Of course not, bro. If you agree with everything someone says, you're in a cult. You're in a cult. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't even agree with my wife, bro. Like she and I we
you hear that, honey?
Fucking liar, bro. He tells me everything, bro. He tells me all the arguments. But I don't even agree with my wife.
Therapy after this podcast.
Yeah, it's improvement classes. No, but me and my wife, man, I don't even agree with her. You know, and she's my favorite person on the planet, and I don't agree with her.
You know what I talk with other comedians about this shit. I mean, because there's times to talk about comedy, and there's times to talk about what's going on politically in this world. You know what drives me nuts is like. I was telling this to my friend. It's like, do you know you play video games?
I used to.
Okay.
I know I know like the big ones.
So do you know what a sandbox game is? You know what that means?
No.
So like like shooters, Call of Duty, Doom.
Yeah.
They're called a shooter not just because it's a shooter, but the whole game you're kind of going from point A to point B. You can't really go outside the lines. It's like the Truman Show.
Yeah.
There's just a wall. Like
right.
You're going down a trench, but you can't climb out of it. Right.
Gotcha.
In GTA, that's a sandbox game because you could be 5 different players. You could have 5 different lifestyles. You could fucking be a criminal. You could be a cop. You could be a cab driver. You could be a firefighter, right? But what you're doing is you're doing all these things that you have all these choices of what you can do, but in this sandbox. You're playing in that sandbox. That's what this country is doing.
Yeah.
They're playing in a fucking sandbox because with all these people who died recently, they don't fucking see Mehdi, human, product of everything he ever went through. They see, oh, this is who you voted for. Oh, this is you just mentioned Kanye. Oh, I can already read you. I can already read you.
Yeah, you go in this like box.
Yeah. Nobody thinks for themselves.
No.
It's a bunch of fucking label makers that you gotta label on your head.
Yeah.
That's why I love me. Like, one thing that made me laugh, I remember I was chilling before a mic at Josephine's. And they used to bust way worse balls there, but there was a guy, he was doing impressions of everybody. I'm like, all right, man, do me. And he's like, I don't know anybody else like Wild Phil. I don't even know how to do your impression, because you're just like, you're a hybrid of something that you're a fucking like hyena, like a person raised by hyenas. You know? And I love that, because that means, like, I don't know, man. I think 90s people, we were raised to think for ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I was thinking is funny? I mean, this is going to sound...
Well, we didn't have social media rotting our brain.
Yeah.
We only had so much time. We had commercial breaks, you know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't have... I mean, I'm on my phone a lot, and I have a reference. I have the ability... I had the foundation of not being on my phone, and I still struggle not being on my phone.
Yeah.
I could only imagine being born with a phone in your hand.
Yeah.
And the amount of propaganda that's just rushing through you. And it could be, either side. You got to deal with it. But yeah, go on, man. Yeah, I mean, I completely agree.
Put this here so it's out of your way. I'm just double checking everything's recording, because I'm fucking anal like that. But
yeah, good.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, dude. It's just I just don't think people think for themselves. It's like, you know what? You know what's funny is, like, I want to know when the moment was, like in the 90s. I'm just being honest right now. Like, I remember being an immigrant Polish kid, and the first time, because in the 90s it was like, oh shit, you're different, let me learn about you.
Yeah.
The first time I met a black kid, I was like, dude, I felt like I saw a fucking alien.
Yep.
I was like, dude, what do you listen to? What do you do? What's your family like? Let me come over. Like, it was like assimilation.
Yeah.
And then some angry white bitch came along and was like, no, that's appropriation. It's like, that's what stopped us connecting.
Yeah.
When it's like, dude, we were just getting along.
Like, it's meant, I think it's like, meant to be like that, bro. Like, it's you have to divide. Like, you have to divide. Like so. Genghis Khan?
Yeah.
Okay, you know the story of Genghis Khan, how he came up?
No.
Okay, so the Chinese used to keep the Mongols divided, because they had different tribes.
Yeah.
And what they would do is they would have false flag operations.
Yeah.
What we call false flag. They would favor one group over the other, creating jealousy.
Mm-hmm.
And so they always made sure that they were beefing. Yeah. So they would never unite. And Genghis saw past that. He saw past that. He went around on a campaign and said, "Look, we're not going to fight anymore. We're not the enemy."
Yeah.
And then what happened, bro? The rest is literally history. Like, he
took over.
And he took over, and now everyone's got 10% of his blood in them. You know what I mean? Or whatever the.
So you're saying you don't think that's a good thing?
I mean, I don't. I think he was a sociopath. He was a narcissist. He was he was a genocide machine, bro. That's what he did. I
think he's pretty gangster.
There are parts of him that were gangster, but you think about it, they were doing it back then. What they're doing now is nothing new. It's nothing new.
Yeah.
They've always been doing this. It's just a lot easier to do. Before, you had a guy who would just fucking show up with a scroll and be like, hear ye.
Yeah.
Today, Phil is the bad guy because, you're hungry because Phil's eating all the food. Now everyone's trying to kill Phil.
I knew you were going to go into the fat shit.
Yeah. Well, if anyone's going to eat the food, it's not me, bro. But... yeah, man, it is what it is. What I like to do, this is why I like comedy, bro. Like, it's the only time I shut off my phone. When I go to open mics.
But it's also like so many people, like I hate to say this, and it's not even because I hate. It's just like, what is it called? It's when people have certain similarities. Think of all the people whoever it is. It could be your closest, Nikki, Dimitri, me. Is there any other world, maybe jujitsu, that you would ever become friends with us?
Right.
Is there any other fucking way?
I always said this. This is very similar.
And it ain't because we don't like each other. It's just like we just never, like, the one thing we have in common is we fucking laugh off life.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
comedy. Yeah, I mean that's a great analogy. Like, I did jiu-jitsu, I did boxing, and it's you go inside the ring, you go inside the gym, and you really don't talk about anything else besides the technique. You know, and you like each other. You act, but the thing about jiu-jitsu, you're trying to kill each other. You know, outside of boxing, you can always take it. You have to take it easy on each other. You're really not going all out.
Yeah.
But jiu-jitsu, you're fucking trying to kill each other.
Yeah.
And there's a point where there's a bond that's like I have guy friends. I mean, I have guy friends. It doesn't matter. I have friends that, dude, I'll talk to for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
You know, because of jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
I think comedy will be the same way. You know, we go into the room, and it's the only time, again, back to what I was saying, it's the only time I shut off my phone. It's the only time. I put it on silent, and I watch everyone. I watch everyone's material. I'm into it. You know, some of it's funny to me, some of it's not. It is what it is. Everyone's got their own flavor. And then, you know, I get up and do my thing, and then and then you just, it's the only time I shoot the shit too. Like I used to teach, bro, there was like maybe a handful of people I liked talking to in my whole career.
Yeah.
Everybody else, it's not because I didn't like them. I have ADD, you know, like I can't sit and talk to someone for long periods of time.
Yeah.
But with comedy, it's so weird, dude. It's like, you know that there's no filter. You could say whatever you want. You might upset some people by what you say.
Yeah.
But for the most part, from everyone I met, everyone gives you the benefit of the doubt as that, okay, he's a good person. He said some offensive shit to me, but not a big deal.
That's the other thing, too, in comedy. You wear your fucking sleeve on your shoulder.
Yeah,
or on your arm or whatever.
Yeah, bro. Fucking Polish, bro. This is what immigrants do. They take fucking idioms and metaphors.
You wear your...
You wear your
babushka on your kielbasa.
Yeah, so it's like, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, bro. We 100%.
Like you can't fake being something in comedy
for a while.
People will see it.
You can. It's like a relationship, bro.
Yeah.
6 months. I always say, give it 6 months. You meet a new person.
Yeah.
Give it 6 months. You'll know who they are. If you're in a relationship, same thing. 6 months.
That's why I was saying recently, like, it's like I think there's like 3 different people in comedy where it's like there's, because we were talking about like me and Biwi, we're gonna start. So I was running Wild Dogs. I'm gonna strictly have it.
Yeah, I was supposed to be on that show and then it fucking got canceled.
We went bankrupt.
Bro. Fucking Wild Phil, bro.
Yeah, dude. Everything I touched.
It was his gambling addiction.
Yeah, but we
porn.
We were like, it was just I can't explain it.
I was really looking forward to that show, actually.
Yeah.
I was like
no, it was a fun place and
Yeah.
everything, but we burn ourselves out, and at the end, me and Biwi, like, here's the thing. I think I was telling you before, what I'm gonna do at Wild Dogs is I want to take it on the road and strictly road, because everybody fucking runs a show. Everybody, I got this place here. Let's no, dude, like I'm more motivated than that. It's not that I'm not trying to talk above people. It's just that if I have the skills to get booked, to contact bookers, and to do a fucking tour of Chicago comedians I like, why the fuck wouldn't I?
Yeah.
You know, and I did that before with other people, and it worked out pretty fucking well. I just needed somebody that I can trust and is on the same level as me, and that's Biwi.
Yeah.
Because Biwi, you know what I tell people is, like, I was just talking about this with, like, me and my brother's got real bad anxiety.
Yeah.
So, like, with my brother, I have to tell him every little thing we're gonna do that day. We're like, we're gonna go.
Oh,
to
the one
show.
I met at Zany's?
Yeah.
Okay.
And with me and Biwi, we're just like, we're gonna run a show. Okay, what do we do? Whatever it fucking takes.
But
bro.
I hear Biwi's very organized and detail oriented.
Oh yeah.
Because I know he likes to do skits.
Yeah.
And like anyone,
he's the most professional.
Anyone that's worked with him comes back and says the same thing. They're like, bro, it's like obviously it's on the low end of production because it's not Hollywood, but this in the sense of like what shots are going to be done, your lines.
Yeah.
No one's wasting time when they work with Biwi. This is what I hear, and I respect that, dude, because I'm like. No one wants to sit there and fucking come up with the idea on the spot while you got like 10 different ideas coming at you. With everyone's got a fucking ADD too, so I could just see that.
That's why me and him balance out.
Yeah,
because he fucking that plumber skit with Dimitri, he drew it out.
Yeah,
He actually drew out a comic strip of what me and Dimitri are doing. And then while we're doing it, I'm just throwing shit at the wall. What would be funnier? What would be funnier? Like you know, it got to what, me standing over Dimitri and like sprinkling pistachios on him. You know, like I'm eating like a slob.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, what would be funnier? It would be funnier if I'm
smoking a cigar in the bathtub.
And I was gonna ash on him on it while he's working, and then I'm like, okay, how can I turn up? What if I shave my pubes? And they're both like, yeah, that's too much, bro.
Yeah.
That's too wild, you know.
Yeah.
But that's the writing process. Like I love it,
Yeah.
and that's the thing with me and Bewey, we bonded because we realized we both were diagnosed with mild OCD.
Yeah.
We both have. I'm medicated.
What
for
the
it.
fuck is mild OCD, bro? That's the American side of you. Because in Poland they would just throw you off a cliff.
Oh yeah.
But mild OCD, I can't even picture that. They're like, he kind of cleans his room, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
You know, he's got to tie his shoelaces in a specific way, but not really.
Well, for me, what it was, dude, I when I started comedy, I'm telling you, the Zoloft balanced me out.
Really?
Because I'd get off that stage and I would ask 20 people how I did.
Yeah.
How'd I do, Dad?
Yeah.
What do you think I should change? And they're like, dude, I'm here to enjoy this and do my set. I barely listen to your set. And I would be
offended?
It's not even that. It's like I would go through some shit with somebody 40 years ago and I would wake up with it on my mind and I would dwell over it for 3 days.
Yeah.
And I need to get that demon out of my mind. It's
I think everyone does that to an extent. Like I'll do that shit. Like I'll be driving and I'll think of something I said, man, in 7th grade to someone, bro, and my asshole just tightens up. I'm like, I can't believe I said that.
No, but to me it's like it
ruins your
crippling.
day.
It's crippling.
Yeah, you just got to get over it, bro.
No, but you know what it was? I learned this from I went to EMDR, hypnotism.
What's that? Oh, okay.
It's scientifically bad hypnosis. You know what that? It's the same thing as in Office Space.
Okay.
You remember that movie?
Yeah.
And that changed me more than anything.
Really?
Yeah. It literally fucking changed me.
So funny, dude. You sound like the most Americanized Polish guy I ever met. My best friend is Polish, bro.
Yeah.
And he is the epitome of a Polish guy, bro.
Yeah.
He just told me.
What do you need psychiatrists for?
Outside of he wasn't born. He came here late. I mean, but when he talks, it's Chicago accent through and through.
Yeah.
But this guy just told me he had fucking MRSA on his leg.
Yeah.
And he's the type who was just like, he let it go too long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, God,
Does he have a leg anymore?
Oh, he does. Thank God. But he's that guy, bro. Like, he's like, oh, yeah, I'm not feeling too well. I'm getting dizzy every time. And I'm like, dude, go to the doctor. He's like, nah. I'm like, you should go to the doctor, bro. Like, your dad passed away at a very young age. It's a sign. And then it's to hear you talk openly about like, I got mild OCD. I went to a hypnotist. That is something that nobody our age who's an immigrant would even like fathom doing, which is probably, but they should. Like, I think they should. I think you should explore it at the very least. But it's good that you did, but not typical of your peeps. Not typical of your people.
Well, no, I mean, that's why I think that's why all my peeps look miserable all the time.
They just add
look
more.
like they're holding that anger in.
Yeah, dude.
Like that's why they let it out in whatever, a UFC gym or something.
Or just they fucking drop dead. They drop dead. They drink a lot.
That's
they
why I look
smoke
older
a lot.
than you, man.
Yeah, I was a big drinker, was a big smoker. I calmed it down. I had anxiety and shit too, but like
for me, So here's what I'm gonna say. I was going to a talk therapist since I was fucking like 15. Same one. Talk therapy is maintenance. It's kind of like cardio.
You're just letting it out.
Yeah. EMDR, like hypnosis, it's the boot camp.
Yeah.
Because if you quit, it'll fuck you up more.
Really?
Because what you're doing is you're cutting open an old wound and you're healing it the right way.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. You ever like have when people have a leg and it heals the wrong way, you look like fucking Timmy from South Park.
Timmy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's what they're doing. But here's what my hypnotist told me is my mom was a diagnosed narcissist. And so what would happen is like I was always motivated. I'm like, well, how do I do the right thing? Because she keeps telling me I'm doing it the wrong way. And then what narcissists do is they will keep fucking digging you into the ground And I know that's an overused word. She was actually diagnosed, but like they will dig you to the ground, and then when you're like, all right, you know what, I give up. Show me the right way. They're like, I'm not going to show you the right way. You're a piece of shit. So that's what ended up. That's what the mild OCD's from, is because I'm constantly doubting myself. Like, should I do this? I mean, I could see both ways. Yeah. So that's what it fucking stems from.
Jeez.
That's what they fucking notice it.
That's fucked up, dude. Yeah, no, thank God my parents were not like that. My dad was a hard ass.
Did your parents stick together?
Yeah, they stuck together. Yeah, no, my family life, bro, like we were not the type to like do family things together per se. Like my mom would always make sure we had food on the table. Like she would cook. She's amazing cook.
Were they both from Iran?
Yeah, and they're still alive, thank God. But my mom would cook, and then me and my 3 brothers, we'd all eat at our own time.
Yeah.
You know, even though we're eating at the same time, we're all eating in different parts of the room. Like that was our family.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time I was dating this girl in high school, and I went to her house, and her family sat around a table and ate. Bro, I thought that was the fucking gayest shit. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
You know, and we sat around, they were talking about their day, and I was just like, I was holding in a laugh the whole time. I'm like, bro, your family's weird, dude.
Yeah.
Like, this is strange. And then as I get older, I'm like, no, that is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be out there doing that. And, you know, I don't have kids. You know, I don't have kids of my own. Me and my wife, it's just me and my wife and our dog. But she and I, we eat all the time together.
Yeah.
Like, we make sure we sit down.
You never wanted kids?
We did. Yeah, we did. We couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, you know, because I had cancer, and I guess the chemotherapy back in the 80s is not quite what it is.
What cancer?
Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
What is that? Like,
I don't even know, bro. I just know that that's the title.
Holy fuck.
I had a tumor in my chest. So I got like they had to take away my breast. So anytime like a lady's like, "Oh, I had breast cancer," I'm like, "Me too," you know?
Yeah. So you got no nips?
I have a nip. It's just a scar.
Okay.
And I mean, I'll show it to you later, but
you're not a Ken doll?
I'm not a Ken doll. No. And anyway, so now I make sure I'm trying to do the things that my family didn't do. Because my dad worked 3 jobs, you know what I mean? He's an immigrant, bro. Like, he worked with his hands. He was never home because he was always working. And when he did have time, it's not like he was talking to us. He was just fucking, you know, like, what did you do wrong today? Pop, pop, pop. You know, what did you do wrong today? You know? And he didn't, like, abuse us, you know what I mean? But we did get hit, you know?
Yeah.
The 2 youngest ones did not. Like, they were so Americanized. They were born in America. They're taller than me. They're better looking than me.
The first kid's the guinea pig.
Yeah, me and my older brother and I, we got hit. My older brother, you know, he had it worse off, but it's so different. It's so different how my dad got Americanized, and then the toxic masculinity went away from my 2 younger brothers, and it shows. It shows in how they're, you know, my baby brother's got 2 kids, amazing dad.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that's how you're supposed to do it. And it's funny because my dad will come and like give him advice, and I'm just like, and I was like, tell my brother, I was like, don't fucking listen to this guy, bro. I mean, he's saying the right things, but that's not how he did it. Not that he did it, you know, poorly.
Yeah.
But he just, you know, he didn't have the internet, bro. He just grew up. But my dad was we're no, like, our people are Bakhtiaris. They're shepherds. So we were known for like just being nomadic in a way. You know, you just take the sheep from one side of the...
You're like a rural farmer.
Yes. You know, so it's hard-nosed lifestyle. Like, there's no talking. It's like you do your job.
Yeah.
Or we starve to death and die. You know, like, that's how it was. Yeah. I'm not saying that... I don't even know... Bro, that's the thing. Do you know anything about your parents back? Like, how they grew up?
How they grew... Oh, yeah.
You know everything?
Not everything. Just like little... tidbits here and there and shit. Yeah.
Same, dude.
Because they didn't talk about it.
Right. Yeah. That. All my immigrant friends, same shit. They're like,
but see, you know,
no idea.
See, you know what is funny though? Like, I think I mentioned this before, but this is like the most narcissist quote I ever heard. Is like, so they say, when you have an abusive parent, that's what like narcissism isn't necessarily genetic, but it could be nurture, right? And I think she got it from how much my grandpa abused her. like just like mentally and just like you know you don't look good. You should lose weight. Just that kind of shit. And even physically, like they got the shit knocked out of them. My uncle left we was the first one. He left the house and joined the Navy at like 15 because he was like, I can't deal with this shit. But you know, it was the most narcissistic quote. Like this is how fucked up my mom. Like number one. So that word is thrown around like crazy now by white ladies and basically any chick that got divorced, and can't get over. Here's the thing that like defines a narcissist is playing victim and here's the funny thing. They'll play victim, but then they'll joke about it. That's type of shit like, "Oh man, I got molested. The sex was good though."
Yeah.
Like that, like you're like, "Wait, so do you want me to feel bad for you or
Yeah.
And but they use it like, so here's what happened. My aunt, she was the youngest, so she was spoiled as fuck. She was like kid number 5. Well, they're at a party. They're at a Christmas party. My aunt invited her friends, and it's like a 15-year difference. So my mom's out of touch with what my aunt. They're talking about different clothes that Polish fucking women shop at Nordstrom Rack. And
that's like the immigrant store, bro.
Yeah, I have a bit about it. I was like, I know how successful. You know how successful you are as a Polak or a Mexican you start off at like Marshall's, then you slowly move up to like Ross Dress for Less, and then when you make it, you're in Nordstrom Rack.
Or when you're just old. Like,
yeah.
Like my mom started, Nordstrom Rack. She talks about it all the time. It's hilarious. It's actually really true. And you could throw the Russians in there too, and Iranians.
And that's my punchline. Is I'm like, you make as immigrant when you don't have the leftovers. You have the good leftovers.
Yeah.
When
all the sizes are where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like when you go to Marshall's, you can't find the sizes because they're scattered. But when you go to like Nordstrom Rack, it's organized.
Yeah,
I absolutely love it.
Like it's funny. Sometimes I say Mexican bits because I've been working as a welder with Mexicans for so long. Sometimes I feel like I'm allowed to say this shit, but I'm like, dude, Marshalls and Ross, they'd make so much money if they opened like a side little daycare. Because I'm always looking through clothes and there's some little Mexican kid hiding in there.
Yeah, I used to work at the Gap, and it's funny because I worked on the Gap kids side, and yeah, man, they
just run around wild.
They always came to the clearance rack, which nothing wrong with that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they would spend all day looking for treasures, and then like you're rich. This was up north, so all the rich Jewish people would just they would buy whatever. I could not believe it. Like when they would come and
they would buy the kids and take them to an island.
They were like, we will make the clothes ourselves. I was like, go right ahead. No, but it's true, man. It's got to be in the blood, It's got to be in the blood of constantly looking for a good deal, because we all came from places where they had bazaars. You know what I mean? Like they didn't have stores.
Yeah,
they had what we call them. Like when I lived in the Middle East, they had souks.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a tent.
Yeah,
or like a little storefront, very small, and you'd go in there and you'd barter.
Yeah, and
that was most places. I mean, yeah, you go to the mall, you're not bartering. But to get the stuff that you want for cheap, you go to a souk and you're bartering nonstop. I remember I went to Egypt, bro. Egypt's the funniest fucking place on the planet. You go in there and then you walk into any souk or any store, and they always pull out this ginormous calculator. The one with the thick buttons.
Yeah.
And
there's a receipt in there?
Yeah, but no receipt. And they would be like, oh, this for you today? For you, brother? Today? And I'm like, yeah, bro, today. Like, I'm here now. And he's like, okay. And they just punch a bunch of numbers.
Yeah.
And then they and then they show you the number. You're like, no. And the advice that everyone gives you is like, whatever price they give you, offer them half.
Yeah.
And then you meet somewhere there. But like, I remember I went with my American coworker, and he was taken back, and he wanted to be nice. You know what I mean? He's like, hey, you're kind of rude, Mehdi. Like you're kind of rude to them. They talk, and you're very upfront. I was like, bro, this is how they do it. I was like, you can't be nice. This is a bartering system.
Yeah,
You can be nice about it, but I mean, I wasn't mean about it, but I think the numbers I was throwing back at them, he's like, wow, dude, that's rude. Yeah. And he would walk away like, spending 80% of what they offered, and they were so happy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you could have gotten it for a lot cheaper.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and it's part of the experience. Now,
Yeah.
of course, if you have the money, go do whatever you want. But I didn't have money. I was a teacher, so I wanted the best deal possible.
So this is so we both have ADD, but what I was getting at, the most narcissist thing my mom said,
Yeah.
we're at this dinner and my aunt has her friends over, they're talking about like shit they're buying at Nordstrom Rack. She said the most narcissist shit, like they're like, oh, would you buy? You see, I have this Louis Vuitton bag. I was like, no, Versace is so much better. And my ma said something. She's like, oh no, I like some brand that like old ladies like, and they started laughing at her, But that's what people do. They laugh. It'd be like if I brought up like, oh, you guys don't fucking still wear Jinko pants or something. You don't fucking wear Airwalks and
Jinkos and Airwalks,
right?
With a wallet chain.
Yeah. So it's like so they just it's like a friendly laugh, and it's the first thing that came out of her mouth. My dad used to hit me in the face. That was her, and it's like it changed the whole fucking. And you know what's funny?
Because she wants everyone to feel bad for her.
Yeah. And so what's funny as fuck is like I learned this. I raised myself. I learned everything. My parents. My dad left when my dad had to be away from me in second grade because I was kidnapped. He kidnapped my ass. And
here in America?
Yeah. He got charged with kidnapping. He tried to get away with he beat the shit out of me, and then he was like, "Oh fuck, I don't know what to do." So he threw me out of a moving car. And then they charged him with kidnapping because he took off with my brother and my grandma. So
and he dumped you out of the car.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, right?
Now it's starting to make sense.
Yeah, right? I look like I got dumped out of the car,
bro.
Right?
Well, you did burn your hair today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's how I get these lines,
Yeah.
The Panini Grill.
Panini
right?
Grill.
But the thing is like I don't know what you're saying. Like
you said you were raising yourself. You're like yeah.
They teach you like with narcissists. You know what the funniest thing is? Like I ain't even gonna mention his name. We talked about him earlier, but I was saying like the way you deal with a narcissist, they're trying to get a reaction of you, either praise or hate. To them, it's the same thing.
Yep,
it's the same fucking thing. And so I one day I read this. I was like, I think this friend of mine, I think he's a narcissist. I'm gonna fuck with him. And I watch his podcast on it. They go, any reaction, you just go like this. Noted. That's all you do. Noted. Be like, yo, Mehdi, dude, that like, dude, I'm not your friend, but your last set fucking sucked. Anything you say would have been, oh, I could see. You just noted, They hate that shit because it's like putting a brick wall, right? But I didn't know that because I'm a little fucking kid being raised by a narcissist. So you know what I learned by trial and error and raising myself is I would lean into it. And that's when my mom knew she couldn't fuck with me anymore. Because she'd be like, she'd say something like, my dad used to punch me in the face. I'm like, fuck, obviously not hard enough. Fuck. Like shit like that, literally shit like that.
Yeah.
And then, or like, she died like 3 years ago, right?
Rest in peace.
And she was, my first cat died while she was alive. And we're like looking to bury it, whatever. And the whole time she's talking about how like, she's taken away from the situation.
Yeah.
And I hate to, I know this is going to sound gay to some people, but I never had a pet because of her. So that first pet, when it died, it hit me, man.
Any pet.
That cat liked me.
Yeah.
That cat fucking, every time I came home, it only liked me. It didn't like anybody else in the family. We had a bond. And so, the whole time we're trying to go bury, she's like, pretty soon it will be me. Just like this shit. What are you guys going to give me this much? And then finally, I'm just like ignoring it because I'm like, I don't want to deal with this right now. This moment is for my cat, bitch. And we're digging a hole in my brother's yard, right? And he's like, can you fucking bury it already? Because I did like 4 feet. I'm like, I think you're supposed to do 6. And he's like, that's humans. I'm like, no, that's anything, because you don't want the fucking pathogens from a dead, rotting body to go up. And he's like, well, how do you know it's 6? And I'm like, well, Mom, why don't you jump in? We'll see.
Wow.
Like, you got to get used to it, don't you?
Oh, jeez.
So, but that's the kind of shit like. I mean, because she'd fuck with me all the time. But that's what I tell people out there is I go, if you're dealing with a narcissist, just fucking lean into their shit. Because like That's the only way you can deal
man.
with it. You cannot. It's better than just like noted, because you're fucking them. You know. I want to tell you. I put a pin in this in my ADHD head, but you're talking about like bartering and shit, dude. I know that this is the Polish in me. I know this is the Polish in me. You see that box over there, that Akai MPK. Yeah. So I'm gonna start writing more joke raps. Like, cause I write music, but I'm like, dude, if I know how to rap, if I know how to freestyle, I may as well, and not be serious, like I think like Ruse, he's here, I'm like, may as well use this in comedy and shit. So I asked Chris Bong, I'm like, what do you use? He told me that keyboard, whatever. That thing is $200 brand new. So I go on Facebook Marketplace. This is how I know I'm Polish. I go on Facebook Marketplace. That's my shit. And I go, this guy's selling it for fucking 120 instead of 200. I'm going to barter him down to 80. And I got it for 80. And then that was the week. That was my kid's birthday. I'm like, dude, that felt so good fucking this guy over. I'll buy my kid a keyboard too. And I found another guy. He had it for 100. Talked him down to 60. I'm like, you know what, dude? Fuck, that felt good.
Oh, now you're addicted.
And then my brother's birthday is 2 days after my kid. I'm like, he plays music too. And I got him. I went all the way down from 200 to 40, and I got 3 different keyboards. I'm like, fuck yeah.
Dude, you should have just sold them back to the marketplace, man.
I should, dude.
And made some money.
I knew a guy.
That would have been real Polish if you did that. If you just didn't give it to anyone.
Yeah.
And you're like, you know what? I started a business now. Mm-hmm. And just start a business, bro. I was just selling a Kai. What is it?
Yeah.
A Kai MPK.
My old Jiffy Lube assistant manager. So I do this in my bit. Chief Keef? Mm-hmm. You know that song that's that shit I don't like? I'm not joking. That guy in the beginning, the meme where he's like, man, I'm so sick of talking about Chief Keef. Chief Keef ain't no quit hitter. Chief Keef ain't no that. I'm fucking beat their ass. That guy was my assistant manager. That guy in that song.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I think this, like I say this in my bit, I'm like, I think you downgraded. I would have stayed a Black Disciple. Why the fuck did you go to Jiffy Lube?
Yeah.
Now you're like, what kind of oil should I use? 50-50 gold blend. That's a shit I don't like.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
And that guy, he used to do is like,
Did I unclip it?
No,
it's good.
No, it's still good. He used to he would lowball somebody like a motherfucker, get like 100,000 miles Escalade for like 2,000, and then he'd take it to Jiffy Lube, full maintenance, tune up, whatever, oil change, take it to a car wash, sell it for like triple. And he just did that all the time. And he'd keep all his cars parked in the Jiffy Lube lot. And they were cool with it because they're like, it looks like we're busy,
Wow, that's a brilliant. I mean, good for him.
Yeah.
Especially, using your what's it called, the place of business.
Yeah.
To do it, so you're just double dipping. Good for him, man.
Yeah, man. I wish I would have had that. Dude, I got fired from there, man. They fired my ass because they threatened to shoot me, and I was like, I'll beat you to death with a torque wrench, and that's
the natural progression of things.
And I because I fired them, I put them off the property because I didn't call the police. They thought I was trying to do some liability shit. Like if he shot me, then they'd be like, "Yo, why didn't you do this fucking gangbanger's background check?" And I'm gonna sue you now. So, and dude, I love that job, man. I was never a manager before. I got that place from like 2 stars to 5 in 3 months, just because of me.
Is that like the gauge in which managers measure themselves? Is through the Google
I don't know
reviews?
if that's how they manage them.
Because if that was the case, I would just make a ton of fucking profiles. And
yeah.
Hey, Phil is very sexy. And
no, but
then you have to have typos, because I've seen people, use bots.
You can tell where it's bots.
Oh yeah. You gotta have typos in there in order to make it real.
I was working on a bit. I think it's too stupid to probably, but it's part of like I'm working on a tight maybe 20 of just all Polish shit. You've heard of some of my Polish shit.
Yeah, I love that shit, bro. I yelled it out last time. You were like, what else do I talk about?
Yeah.
I was like, Poland.
Yeah, dude. One of the Polish bits is like, you guys ever get all these fucking Botox bitches on Instagram trying to add you? My friend think you are cute, right? I'm like, the thing that sucks about being Polish, that is how my cousins look and how they would talk. and how they would want to get ass from me.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, is this a bot or is this a relative?
You're like, either way, I'm fucking.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm busting a nut today.
It's
Either by
2025.
myself or with my cousin.
Anal, condoms, different times, man.
How you like that cigar?
It's all right. I like
You
Maduros.
I knew it.
Yeah.
You look like a fucking just burn your taste buds. And
Yeah.
I used to like Maduros too,
My
but
gums are gonna be bleeding. when
yeah,
I'm old.
it's just a little too harsh for me, especially now because I like to drink bourbons and whiskeys and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I gotta have a light cigar. Now Connecticut wraps are my thing. And now Rocky Patel. Shout out to Rocky Patel. I never liked Rocky Patel only because of the name. I was like, I have a lot of Patel friends.
This fucking guy from Schaumburg.
Yeah, I'm just like,
Another Patel.
why am I ordering from my friend's cousin? But truth be told, man, I haven't had a bad Rocky Patel.
Yeah.
Not at all. And I get the summer sampler and or whatever sampler the season is.
Yeah.
And if I choose the Rocky Patel sampler pack, it is always delicious.
Is that what's your top 3? Rocky Patel and then what
Oh
else?
no, not top 3. Top 3, man. Let's see. David Off, like, you get a David Off, Connecticut wrap.
Yeah.
They're usually creamy, full of smoke, just such a pleasant
Yeah.
experience. And I didn't like those either at first because I was like, oh, why would I pay so much for a non-Cuban? But the best. And then, man, what would
Like
be my number 2?
Undercrowns?
Undercrowns are good,
Yeah.
They're all good. Macanudos are good. Those are always good.
Macho?
Camachos, good. I like those. I honestly, I don't. It's just Maduros. If you give me a Maduro, I'm probably not gonna like it. I don't.
Yeah.
I hate acids.
Yeah.
Like flavored cigars.
Once I got into good cigars, I can't go back to acids.
Oh no.
My throat's always like hurting for days.
But it's not. I don't want to smoke to me, it's just like a Philly blunt that's flavored. I can't do them. I won't do them.
It's like a triple XL black and white.
Just it's not good. We tried it like when we were in Saudi during the pandemic, me and my boys, my 2 coworkers and my best friends, out there.
Yeah.
We would order like 100 cigars because you can bring in 100 it was like you could bring in 25 cigars.
Yeah.
But we would bring in like 100 to 200.
Yeah.
And and then we would ask the
Hide
new
them in your ass.
we would ask the new hires.
Yeah.
Because they were so excited about coming.
Yeah.
And my guy was the principal of the school, so he'd be like, all right, if you want, can I order some cigars to your house in America? And then you bring them over with you? And they're like, of course, because they want to, get the brownie points. And usually, they were white. No problems.
Yeah.
I went to, where did I go? I went to Egypt. And I went to Jordan for a basketball tournament. On the way back, I stopped at the duty free, and I bought like 2 boxes of like one Cohiba, something else. So I had 50 cigars, and tried to go through customs in Jeddah, and they busted me.
Yeah.
And man, when they busted me, bro, they were looking at me like they were gonna hit me with smuggling.
Yeah.
And they were like, "You have to pay a
That
tax."
dynamite sticks.
Bro, yeah, dude. It was like I thought it was no big deal,
It's
but
that profiling bullshit.
they took it so seriously. They took me
Yeah.
into a back room. The guy's smoking a cigarette, and he's just typing one finger, at a time.
Yeah.
Cigarette just ashing, and he's like trying to figure out how to tax me on these. And so he looked up the Cohibas, and they came out to like $50 a stick, right?
Oh, wow.
So it was like $50 a stick, and then he goes, "Okay, you have to pay the tax on it, which would have tripled the price."
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, and then he and I, kind of built a rapport because I was there for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
And he found out I was a teacher. He was, he's like, "Oh my, I love teachers, this and that." And so he's like, "Okay, just give me 100,
Yeah.
So I gave them $100 instead of like they were gonna tax me like another like 1,500.
Yeah.
So I gave them the 100, got through, and then we went. But the story was all about acids. We got a bunch of acids. One person brought back because we were like, "Oh, let's try these acids." We hated them so much. We were giving them away as gag gifts to
Why'd
people.
you get them there instead of just?
Well, because
get
we
'em
were
here?
shipping them. We were shipping them to the people that were bringing them over for us. So it was the only time we could get them. Because in Saudi during the
Oh, you were
pandemic,
shipping them from the U.S. to here.
to
Saudi.
people's houses, and then you couldn't ship them directly to Saudi. So you had to ship them to people in America who
Yeah.
were going to come here.
Yeah.
So we did
But you
that.
couldn't like get them in Saudi. Did you?
We could, but not at that time because everything was
Super expensive.
not just super expensive, but shipping had stopped because of COVID.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, everything like for an Oliva V, you're paying like $35 for the stick.
Oh wow.
When it's like $8. You know.
You know what's the biggest bill I got from being overseas? Dude, so it's a long ass fucking story, but to put it short, dude, I had my best man and a groomsman. We went to, so they were like, "Yo, Phil, like, this is gonna." Dude, I was talking to Ray Roberts about this. I'm like, I went to Amsterdam, but I'm gonna be faithful. He's like, "Dude, you sound so gay," right? And it's funny because he's like a more left comedian, but yeah, like I was like, I'm going to Amsterdam, and like I'm not that, like I want to have like a bachelor thing, but I'm. There's better toothless whores in Chicago, you know.
Yeah, and
I'm not going to do that anyways. So he's like, why instead of doing this like toothless whore in a fucking Motel 6, why don't we put our money together and take you on a bachelor vacation? Like we'll pay for your share. I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. And I wanted to go to Egypt and get fucking wild. I wanted to break in some pyramids and shit. And he's like, no, dude, like one of the friends, he was blind. So he's like, dude, I'm not getting lost in the fucking desert with my stick.
No, bro, it's easy to get lost in Egypt too. It's so populated.
So he and dude, we went there, groomsmen and best man. We came back enemies.
Where'd you go? To Amsterdam?
We went to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
And here's how I racked up my biggest find. So in Amsterdam, I don't know if it's because like, cops it's like, it's weird. It's all over. It's like if you're in a communist country, they'll fucking beat you to death. The cops, like Russian cops, they'll fucking beat you. Think cops are bad in America? They're way worse in a like where you don't got a body cam or anything,
Where they actually have power.
Yeah. So in Amsterdam, they're a lot more because obviously it's a way more. I don't know what word you would use. Liberal, free thinking country. In Amsterdam, they have less cops, so less confrontation, but they have surveillance everywhere.
Yep.
Everywhere. And the reason why is because it's the soccer hooligans. They just get fucking wasted, and they'll like literally, if you piss on the street, there's a camera, and they'll just send you a fine, like to your house. They'll be like, "Oh, he went to this bar. What credit card did he use? Okay, he's staying here. Send him a fine." So I was gonna see this black metal band. You know anything about black metal?
No, I never even thought. Didn't even know that there was such like when you say that you're talking about like black musicians who do metal.
No. Black metal is like controversial Satanist sacrifice goats on stage.
I thought that was just like death metal. How is that different?
Death metal it's more American. It's like stoners in flannel, just like with Cookie Monster voice.
So it's like it's like hard grunge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Black metal is like there's a lot of closeted Nazis. They sing about World War II. They sing about Satanism. The most famous is Burzum and Mayhem. He went to jail for only 20 years, and he burned like 13 churches and killed his singer, like stabbed him to death. But Norway has a cap on your maximum sentence.
Yeah.
So he got out in like 2005. But
and it's like minimum security, isn't it?
yeah.
Like,
he wrote 3 albums in prison.
Yeah, like you live in a house. I watched like that World's Scariest Prisons on Netflix.
Yeah.
And yeah, the ones in the Scandinavian countries, they were like
They're chill.
it was like a house with roommates, and then you get to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hard time.
So I wanted to see this black metal band. They're called it's pronounced Mgła. It's MGLA. It's a Polish band. It translates to fog. And here's the thing that people don't understand. Like there's even controversy with this band Slaughter to Prevail. The guy had, you know what a black sun is? It looks like, you ever see you know how Greek people any font, like if you see like a Europe, they have those like zigzags around, like Little Caesars.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of like a black sun, but Nazis used it. And this guy in Russia, he just got it because he's like, oh, this fucking looks cool. I don't know what it means. It would literally be like if you're 5 years old and you don't know what a fucking swastika is, you know? So what I'm saying is, in Europe, a lot of motherfuckers sing about World War II because they went through it. They're fucking, my relatives were in the Holocaust. So this band, they weren't Nazis, but what turns out is they got signed to a label of a guy who was a Nazi. When you're in a fucking band, you're like, holy fuck, we're getting signed.
Yeah. What do I have to sing?
Like, like when you're getting a fucking paycheck, you're not like, wait a minute, let me see your background check, right? So there was a little bit of controversy with the band where I was like, oh shit, this might be the only way I could see them because they haven't toured outside of Europe yet. So I told my two friends, I go, dude, the one thing I want to do, because this is my bachelor vacation, I want to get a fucking rent-a-car and I want to drive to Belgium to see their show. And I speeded the whole time. By the time I got, dude, at the end, it was about to be $7,000 in tickets because instead of like I said, instead of cops, there's just nonstop cameras.
Yep.
And it's like, imagine like speed cameras in Chicago, except if you tried to get more than 5 tickets, it would be hard. Most people are going 30 miles an hour. You would get in an accident. When you're on the highway, you're fucking going full speed. So I racked up originally, it was like $1,500 in tickets.
Dude.
And the other thing that confused me, that I rented a fucking Toyota Yaris, and they had it set to kilometers an hour. So I'm like, oh, I'm going the speed limit here. Whatever. So I came back, and dude, it was shady because you know what's ridiculous. You know how open Amsterdam is. You know the Messenger WhatsApp.
Yeah.
That's how they communicate in their DMV.
Yeah.
Isn't that fucking ridiculous?
No, I mean, that's how, I lived abroad. That's how they did everything, is through WhatsApp.
I didn't know that. I was like, dude, like to me, an outsider, I was like, that's like communicating with the DMV here through Messenger or fucking Snapchat.
Right.
So they were telling me, they're like, yeah, you owe this much. And every week it triples. So I finally went to Bank of America, like right when, an hour before they close, an hour of them being open, and they told them, they're like, you know what, we're gonna get our lawyers, so you better wipe this. And I only paid like $1,500 out of the what could have been $6,000, but I'm like, dude, fuck this, I'm never going to Amsterdam again.
Was the band worth it though? Would you pay $7,000 to go see that band?
No, I don't know. Maybe Oasis, like I just did.
You did. Oasis is not swastikas, but
yeah,
no.
But yeah, like that band, like they they're not contra. There's just a little.
Who? Oasis?
No, the band that I saw in Europe.
Mwah.
It's like MGWA.
MGW.
Like that's how you would pronounce it. Yeah.
Mwah. Fuck, dude.
But
so weird. I remember I saw a podcast of yours. You were talking to someone about some band that was big during the pandemic, and you're like, yeah, they're so big. And me and my wife were talking about, just politics and whatever. And we're like, how do people not know about a certain topic? Because we're like talking about this topic, whatever it was. And I'm like, you know why? I was just watching Wild Phil's fucking podcast, and he was talking about this band. And I don't know who your guest was. He's a black guy who's wearing like multicolor, like he had like a headband or something. This is one of your recent podcasts. I forget his name, but
might have been Derek.
Derek
Alderson.
Oh, maybe. And you brought up a band I've never heard of, and you were like, "Yeah, they got big during the pandemic," and he was like, "Yeah, I know them," and like, it was like common knowledge for you two.
Yeah.
And then obviously common knowledge for your scene.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it was nothing. I was just like, there's so much going on in the world.
Yeah.
That just because you're aware of something does not make it so that everybody else is aware of it. And it's just crazy to me because the way you guys brought up this name, I've never heard of it. Like moi. Like I bet you.
Yeah.
All the other fucking people who have, your hairstyle, the mohawks, they know it like it's Tupac,
Yeah.
And it's so funny when I come across stuff like that. I'm just like, this is insanity. How much information is there, and how many hours in a day that even if you tried to understand it, you can't. You can't.
I love it though. Like, that's what it is. It's funny. Like when we were talking about like being immigrants, is like, what the fuck was it? You were talking about like I couldn't be friends with my coworkers, dude. All my coworkers were lame at like welders. They're all lame ass. I got my truck lifted with a Trump sticker on the back, and all I do is double time. They would like I remember, so I had a best friend who was Polish. He's the reason why I even learned English. And I looked up to his dad so much. His dad was cool as fuck. Like he worked strictly 40 hours a week at Service Master. He was a carpet cleaner. And then he's like, we're going fishing. We're going camping. We're going foraging for mushrooms. Like that's what you're fucking working to live, not living to work.
That's the American. That's the American way, man.
But no, the American. What I'm saying is the American way was these welders. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, what do you got better going on this weekend?" I'm like, I don't fucking know.
Well, it was material. Like they were stuck in the other extreme end of Americanism, which is
where your identity is your job
and buying stuff.
Yeah.
Because they were. It seems like they were working so they could constantly dump money into their cars, which is a. I mean, if you have the money, do it. But you shouldn't be putting your money into liabilities. You know what I'm saying? Like that is a very low end. That's a pea brain activity. Like when I was like 16, 17, I made money. Yeah. Doing whatever. I was selling pot, whatever.
Yeah.
But I was dumping it into my piece of shit car.
Yeah.
And it was my whole life. And me and my friends, we all had like cars that were pieces of shit, but we would put a spoiler on it. We would put two 12-inch subwoofers in it with a Pioneer, Pioneer amp, and then you remember the detachable.
Yeah.
The
so
detachable,
steals your radio?
Detachable radio.
The illuminated lights.
And you're paying like you go to Best Buy. To suit it all up, you're paying like $2,500. Mm-hmm. If I would have taken that $2,500, if I could go back, I would take that $2,500.
Yeah.
And I would put it in ETF back then. For like whatever an ETF costs. Let's say the S&P 500. It would have been like, $150 a share. Right now it's at $600. You know, like now that I have my brain that's grown, I would have done it. But the thing is, I didn't pay attention to it, but it's funny that your friends were much older.
Yeah.
And they're still doing it. I still have friends that do that. They'll spend their money on stupid shit, and they wonder why they're in the situation they're in.
But I mean, my point is like, all they like to do was work.
And that's okay. I mean,
we need those people.
We do need those people.
But it was like you were ashamed if you didn't.
I'd rather have that than people who just want to watch Netflix all the time.
Yeah.
Who don't work, who say, "Oh, I have this, this
Honestly,
condition."
But I think it's the same thing. To me, it's like you need a balance of both. That's the center, To me, like I guess the way I would compare it is like somebody who just wants to fucking work and that's all they do. That's like being like radical right. And then like being a freeloader is like radical left or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like I'm just all about balance. I'm all about like that's why like lockdown, dude. I was depressed, bro. I fostered like 80 kittens total. I mentioned this on the podcast with Lauren, but Lauren was my last guest. But I'm working on I'm gonna release a book of like short story diary entries. Because during lockdown, I wrote like somewhere to almost 10,000 Microsoft Word pages of just fucking wild stories.
That's cool.
And you know what's funny? I was talking to Buey about this because he's kind of like in a graphic design.
Yeah. You make cartoons of it?
That is a good idea. That's actually, dude, that's a fucking great idea. But
I want 10%.
What I was going to do is, because I wrote the foreword of like, what the fuck do all these... It's not even just wild stories. I don't want this to be like a jag off to myself brag book. It was also like just fruitful shit. Like, man, this is what being in Chicago day camp in the summer was like. We're going to fucking Foster Beach. We're listening to Smashing Pumpkins. You know what I mean? Like
that is so true.
You know?
That is exactly what my childhood was like. Like we
Yeah.
would just ride our bikes down to Foster Beach
Yeah.
because I used to live on Foster and Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
We used to just ride our bikes, listen to Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah.
You know, what was it, Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness?
Yeah.
Great album.
Muzzle. That was
You know?
that was my shit.
That or STP. That was the greatest era of
Dude,
music.
I love STP. You know what? When I grew up, my favorite, like, I guess, grunge was Smashing Pumpkins. But the older I got, I love STP, man.
I saw them live in '98. I saw
Yeah.
them live in '98. Bro, that sounds so old. I saw them live in '98, and they came out with the Grim Reaper. So the Grim Reaper comes out, and Local H opened up for them. Remember Local H?
Yeah, yeah.
So Local H opens up for them, and they were a hit band already. So like it was so cool to see that.
Yeah.
So and then the Grim Reaper comes out, so we knew that STP was coming out. You know.
Yeah.
And the fucking crowd goes crazy. They just go into roar. You know. Like,
Yeah.
and we're all going crazy. And then Scott Weiler, is that his name? He comes out, the lead singer. He comes out, and they start doing their first song. The Grim Reaper's dancing, 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 and all of a sudden, the Grim Reaper takes off his helmet, and it's Dennis Rodman.
That's hilarious, man.
Dennis Rodman was in the playoffs at this time. He had a game the next day.
Yeah.
Okay, and we were, dude, like we were ready at a crescendo of like a roar.
Yeah.
And then when he took off his helmet, like people were passing out. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like this was Dennis Rodman.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was like the Michael Jordan of rebounding for us, you know?
Yeah.
And I just remember I'm like, this is awesome. And now if I were to go to a concert, I would be, first of all, I'd be too tired.
Yeah.
I would need a chair.
Your doctor shows souls in for your
I
back.
would need to sit down. I'm not drink. I would need water, and
Yeah.
I need a clear path to the bathroom
Yeah, yeah.
because I would be pissing all the time.
Yeah.
I don't think I pissed once when I was a kid at this concert.
Mm-hmm.
I also saw Metallica at the Load concert in '97.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
That was an amazing show
What do you remember what venue it was?
at Rosemont Horizon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Rosemont Horizon.
That's what it used to be.
Yeah.
Yep.
And amazing show. And that was when like MTV was hyping them up. So they had a giveaway where the winners would get a truck.
You know what that album cover is, right?
Yeah, Semen and Blood.
Yeah. I didn't know that for the longest fucking time.
Back then, like the only way you could find out back then was if someone told you. There was no Google.
Yeah.
Like it was just a rumor.
Yeah.
And then somehow, some way, through the grapevine, they would talk about it. But yeah, Semen. I mean, I was 13, 12 years old. You know,
Like, oh, Load.
yeah. Now I get it. But that was a great show. That was a great show. I went to Offspring as well. Remember Offspring?
Yeah.
Yeah, Offspring was a good show.
I saw STP the last show that he did in Chicago, and it was fucking sad. It was wild because I didn't know any of this until after. I was like, holy fuck, there's no opener because they played for 3 hours. And then I realized, I was like, oh fuck. They had like 7 cameras on booms. They were filming it for a DVD. And the weirdest thing, it was on for the longest time it was on demand for Dish Network.
Dish Network.
But it's on YouTube now, but dude, it was wild. It was at Riviera. The tickets were like $80, but I'm like, I fucking love them so much. And here's the part that was sad.
At the Riv?
Yeah. But here's a part, or no, it was Aragon Ballroom. It was Aragon Ballroom.
Yeah.
But here's the part that was sad was that I remember seeing him, Scott Weiland. I was like, why the fuck? He looks like a wax museum figure. Like he looks like when Jackass wears those old man suits.
Yeah.
And I read that it was because he was relapsing from heroin.
Yeah.
And so they go like, like cold plunge, it resets your fucking system, whatever. To resist heroin, he would take boiling hot showers and scald himself until he didn't want to do heroin anymore. So he was like, he was burnt basically. That's why his skin looked all waxy.
I didn't hear about this.
And then he ended up dying like a year later.
Wow,
So
from heroin.
Yeah, from heroin. It was fucking crazy.
My goodness,
it's sad.
man.
Like they were my favorite fucking. I always tell people like I feel like Pearl Jam was the worst. There's a reason why he's alive. Like I don't know.
No.
You like
Not
Pearl
at
Jam?
all. Of course. Pearl Jam was amazing.
I mean, to me, it's what I was talking about this with Lauren, where it's like,
But I don't think he's a Chicagoan, even though he's from
no, he's from Seattle.
he's from Seattle.
But to me, it was like 5 good songs. That's it. I don't know.
No, that whole album, what is it, 10?
Yeah,
That whole album was great.
yeah. I mean, I liked it more when I was younger, but I fucking dude. I told Lauren, like, Oasis, man. I love them so much. I pissed myself 4 times to keep my spot. I was like, I'm second row to the front. I don't know if you saw those videos. I was front row.
You pissed yourself.
Pissed myself 4 times. I'm like, I'm fucking.
That is so wild, Phil, bro.
Yeah, dude. And my brother's like, I thought you were gonna wear a diaper. I'm like, yes. So when I sit down in the car, it all squeaks out like a sponge. Fuck that shit. It evaporated by the end of the show. So
That is, you know what?
and that's why I got that the Chicago date.
This is it's
It's a wild moment.
it's interestingly it makes sense. Like when you put the logic behind why you pissed yourself 4 times, because when you said, "Oh, why would I wear a diaper and it'll seep out?" I'm like, "Well, what's gonna happen to the pants?" You're like, "It evaporated." I'm like, interesting.
Yeah.
But did you smell like piss?
No. I was drinking beer and water all day, so it was like clear, it's not like that.
Did you stop? Like, was your face like concentrating when you peed?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I did.
So, like, if someone was watching you closely, they could tell the 4 times
Oh, probably.
you were pissing.
Probably.
That is.
I stopped singing along.
Oh God, that's hilarious, dude. What song was it?
I think it was 4 different songs. So
I know, but did you wait in between songs to
I
piss?
did wait in between because I was like, I need to sing along.
Oh my God,
Dude, that's why they're like people.
Were you standing up the whole time?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
that's too
standing all the
much.
time.
That's too much.
I mean, dude, I literally. Here's what's funny is like, so you know like the whole culty thing of like the brothers, like they're always they're wild and they're goofy and shit, right? And Liam, he talks a lot of shit, and he'll say different, like he just gets drunk and he says goofy shit in between songs and shit. And one of the words he always uses, how like or sure, he always says it's fucking biblical. It's fucking biblical. He always says that show was actually biblical. You want to know why? Because Soldier Field sold out, 60,000 people. And they're all soccer, like Oasis fans are soccer fans. Imagine
Chanting?
60,000 people singing every fucking word of every song together. I have never been and never will be to a show like that ever again. That was fucking wild.
You want to hear something crazy?
Because that's like a Greek Greek gladiator
Coliseum
shit.
type shit. Yeah, I was in Korea.
Yeah.
And my wife and I went to a street festival.
There's something about white people yelling together at a huge rally.
Yeah, you're like, oh well, you could stay. I can't. I'm like, this is the moment I have to go.
Yeah.
But we were in Dongdaemun, a little city. I mean, it's not a little city.
This
It's
South
a
Korea?
neighborhood. Yeah, South Korea. And there was a street festival where they had music and everything. And there was a ton of people. I mean, there's always a ton of people. Like, it's so populated. Like when you're walking around, you're basically shoulder to shoulder to everyone. But there was a music guest there, and they were playing. They were playing music. Well, I mean, fucking redundant, But it was a DJ, and then they put on Wonderwall,
Yeah.
and everyone there sang every single lyric.
Yeah.
There were Koreans, Irish people, Americans, Brits. It was so magical,
Yeah.
because I was like singing it from my heart, because I'm like, this is my, my anthem when I was 13, Wonderwall.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the show was like, I don't know who they brought up after that.
Yeah.
They should have closed out with Wonderwall. Like
Yeah,
whoever it was did not do well because
Yeah.
the nut had been nutted, like that was it. Like there was
Yeah.
nothing you could do. So that was my Wonderwall moment, man. But what time is it? I got to get out of here soon.
Yeah, it's 4 exactly.
4 exactly.
Do you want to do the quick interview and wrap it up?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to. Well, you want me to tell you about this accident first, and then interview, or what? It's up to you. I don't
Whatever,
care.
man.
So I got rear-ended in a car.
I did see that.
And I couldn't fucking like I felt like I couldn't talk about it because of what's going on in this world today. You know, it was ice weekend in Chicago, whatever.
Woo!
And I swear to God. So what happened is, so I couldn't sleep well because the past 2 fucking weeks my cats have been going nuts. Like I just came to the.
Oh yeah, you told me about the full moon. They just went crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. I just took them to right before you said let's do the pod. I took them to the vet and they're just like, yeah, dude, they just cats are fucking goofy. Like they'll be like a lightning will strike and then the cat will look at the other one and be like, it was your fault. You know? Like so it's like being in a marriage.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. This is you.
Yeah.
I told you to clean the house.
So I didn't get a lot of sleep, and I was like, oh, you know what? I was gonna get this tattoo done for a while.
Yeah.
So I went to go the tattoo. You've been to Josephine's, right?
Yeah.
So there's the tattoo shop there, and I love that guy because like this is hard to do. I don't know if you can see, but like the Oasis font, this shit. I mean, Supreme, the brand, they took it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just Helvetica black oblique
Yeah.
font. This is hard to do with a tattoo. To do an exact font, he did it really fucking well. You know, triple black, so it stays forever. You know, and so I'm driving back. I'm at like Lake. I don't even know if I'm supposed to talk about this, but whatever. And I'm sitting there for 2 fucking minutes because it's 3 lanes. You know where like 53. It's like coming off the. It's like it goes into a highway, then comes off highway.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there for 2 minutes. And this lady just revved her fucking engine and like she was sitting behind me for 2 minutes too, and then out of nowhere just fucking revved her like 15 miles an hour, just fucking busted me. You know, the back of my car. I jumped out of there, and I immediately was dizzy. Like if I blacked out, it could have been for like a millisecond.
Yeah.
You know, the funny part though is I might release it is I'm always riffing my jokes in my car. I'm at that age I don't give a fuck, dude. I have more conversations with myself than anybody else alive. I talk to
I believe
myself.
that.
And
You also piss on yourself.
Yeah, dude. I'm like a fucking DC villain. Like
Yeah.
if you lock me up in a padded room, it'll be a party with me and 5 of my personalities, you know? And like so what's funny is I had my dash cam and I got to use it for court. So they're going to hear I'm doing one of my bits. I'm like, you know, the thing about these people is, what the fuck? Like I got rear end and I like flipped out. I jump out of the car. This lady, I've worked with enough Hispanic people where I was like, I know she was a Mexican. So I'm like, I'm putting the two together. I'm like, okay, she doesn't speak English, but she is Hispanic, but she's not Mexican. She might be illegal. Oh fuck. Because okay, side note. I want to tell you something interesting real quick too. When I had a metal band during lockdown, I think you'll find this interesting because it shows how vulturous media is.
Yeah.
Some wild shit that happened. My old guitarist in my metal band, right? This was like during lockdown, whatever, right? His niece. So my YouTube, dude, people know me. I don't give a fuck about politics. If I do, I make fun of both sides. I just don't care. To me, it's like a stupid hobby. Like
It's a circus.
When I hear people talk about anything politics, to me it's literally like they're talking about Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
It's not my thing.
Yeah.
I'm not into it. Whatever. But the reason why that coincides with my friend, while we were in the band, so my YouTube is like all shit that I watch, whether it's metal bands or comedy, and then there'd be some shit about like Schaumburg, you know, whatever. There's that summer festival, or you know, the news of like local shit, right? And then I'm like, Fox News, migrant in Illinois suburb, whatever. You know what fucking happened, dude? Like during lockdown, bro, this is. I'm not insinuating anything, but this is the worst case scenario of like when people talk about like what is bad about too much illegal immigration. Like I'm just reiterating what I saw. His niece, she went to my stepkid. He graduated this year.
Yeah.
They went to the same high school. She graduated 3 years ago. She goes with her boyfriend to get ice cream after graduation. It was a white girl and a Mexican guy. They go. She gets hit 110 miles an hour by an illegal migrant guy, killed instantly, his niece. And they got the body cam, and this guy's running away. He's fucking almost naked. He's in his underwear and a rosary, screaming that he's on PCP. You fucking whiteys ain't gonna catch me. I'm gonna go back to Mexico. You ain't gonna fucking. And it took him 8 tasers to take him down. And of course, like it was awful because my friend's family is mourning. You know what I mean? Like, we're trying to grieve for this little girl who just graduated,
her whole life is ahead of her.
Yeah, and she just got killed. And then immediately fucking Fox News is like, whoa, this is our agenda. This is what happens to all migrants.
Yeah.
And it was all over the fucking place. So to me, after seeing that, I'm a little bit biased. So when I got fucking rear-ended, I'm like, holy shit. Is this bitch going to run me over? Is she going to take off?
Yeah.
Because the moment, like, she kept saying the same thing, sir, please, sir, please. I'm like, what? What do you want? And then she wanted to give me $50 for a wrecked bumper. I'm like, 50? You can't even get a pizza in 2025 for $50.
Yeah.
What are you fucking talking about? You know? And also, like, I thought, you know, when they say when you get in an accident, you don't know if you're injured until after the adrenaline rush, because you don't feel pain.
Right.
So my neck was hurting like, I mean, I couldn't sleep well for like 3 days maybe. This is the first day I am not getting migraines.
Yeah.
So I must have been a little bit concussed.
Yeah, 100%. Of course you were, bro. It's a car accident.
And so yeah, it's some wild shit. They took me off in an ambulance. I am gonna fucking try and sue her because I do have migraines. Like what the fuck? And it's like, that is the kind of shit that could happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but it was some crazy shit, you know?
Sucks, dude.
And I was like, my opening line now is like, what is with this week and white guys getting their necks fucked?
Oh.
But not going there. But, but anyways, so let's wrap it up. Fucking, so what, you know, you're born in Iran at 5. Yep. You moved here.
Yep.
Where'd you move at first?
We went right to the north side of Chicago. So I was like on
It's a Foster and...
Foster and Lincoln was later, but I was California and Peterson.
Okay.
Yeah.
I grew up at like Harlem and Irving by the head.
Yeah. I don't live too far from there now.
Yeah. I used to always go to fucking Rolling Stones records. When
I remember that. Yeah.
It's that thing is so sad.
Yeah.
It's all porn and incense.
Yeah. Well, that's fun.
It's fucking, dude.
You always want to smell good when you're winking.
Yeah, but man, and now it's like you go there and you're like, oh, all the shirts are on sale because they used to be $50 for a t-shirt and now they're regular price, 30. Like, what the fuck? But anyway, so like what made you like want to get into comedy? Like,
I always wanted to do it, you know. I was teaching forever, so I always wanted to say things, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you could get fired.
Yeah.
So the most liberating thing for me was to quit my job. And then when I quit my job, I was like, well, there's no excuse now. It's either now or never.
Yeah.
And I'm getting older, and there's nothing worse than, like, you know, when people say, oh, it's never too late. Sometimes it's too late, bro, because this takes a long time to become good at it, you know?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah,
unless
fuck it.
you're Zoe Dodson or Nick Emeka. And
yeah, I mean, those guys, yeah, man. But they, you know, I don't know how long they've been in it, but for me, I needed to get into it right away, so I did, and I've been doing it. I've been doing it since January of this year, so it's been about 9 months. Yeah, and I love it, man. I've been, you know, I keep track of how many. I've been like 180 mics now. Yeah, so that's good.
And you know what? You don't ever. This is like, I tell people after I did Zanies, that's my new chapter, and I realized that. Dude, don't ever fucking, like, I sometimes feel shitty for even asking how long, because dude, it doesn't matter how fucking long,
right?
Because if you it's all about finding your voice, and then when
it takes a while though.
Yeah,
it takes a while.
Well, it takes different for different people.
Yeah,
you know,
it takes a long time, but it's a skill. It's like jiu-jitsu, you know, like you can be good.
Yeah,
but if you're not rolling, if you're not drilling, if you're not out there practicing, you're only going to be good for a little bit. If you want to become better, you got to go and get the reps in.
Yeah.
And that takes time. You're only doing it 4 minutes at a time, so
but you
got to get out and do it.
You know how I think it differs from jiu-jitsu? I mean, it's different for each person, but the way I think of it is like, you're not doing jiu-jitsu your whole life.
Yeah.
So if your whole life you've been a little bit of a funny or weird guy, it's a little bit easier.
Well, yeah, but that's like athleticism, right?
Because it's almost like you've been doing reps since you were born.
But it's more, I think it has to do with just attention to detail. Just like jiu-jitsu, you got to pay attention.
That mild OCD. Man.
Yeah, you have to have mild OCD. Yeah, you got to be mildly Polish, you know.
Yeah.
You got to be able to get out. You got to be able to do it. But yeah, man, I've been doing it 9 months and I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's good, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
You're getting booked on shows in 9 months. So
Yeah. So I'm thankful, man. I'm thankful, you know.
Yeah. You know, I did have that mentality of like I'm jaded because I want to do show and like you just got to flow with it.
Yeah.
When you flow with it, like that's what I didn't realize was like, you know, there's a whole mentality of like stay hungry and all this bullshit. It's like, or enjoy yourself.
Yeah. Well, I think that's why being older, I know my time is limited. You know, especially after you hit 40. Like you're like.
How old are you now?
42.
Okay.
So 42, and it's the first time, you know, like I remember I was boxing at a young age in my teens.
Yeah.
And then I quit. And then I was like, I'll just get into it later. You know, I'll just get into it next year. And then I did, but it was in my mid-20s. And then I competed. And then, you know, I did what I did. Yeah. And it was fun. But I started getting my ass kicked, like, you know, in my late 20s. I was like, okay, my window's done.
Yeah.
Because these new young kids are coming up and they're hungry and they're training harder. And I was like, wow, that went by quickly. You know, I kept putting it on the back burner. And then I started jiu-jitsu, you know, did jiu-jitsu for a long time. But then, again, I would get hurt because I was older. And then, you know, taking time to recover took longer.
Yeah, dude, that's why I quit, man.
And then getting back in it, and then you're getting back in it. It was just a constant cycle. So I was like, okay, now with comedy, yeah, you don't get hurt, but you're losing sleep. You have work. You have your wife. You have your family.
I don't know how the fuck Nikki and Dimitri, like, they don't sleep.
Yeah, they don't sleep, you know. So, like, but, you know, they respect the craft to where they are out all the time doing their mics. Yeah. And that's all you can do is just you know, pay the piper, go out there, do it. Sometimes it feels like nothing's happening, but it's just like working out. You're not going to look good after you go to one session at the gym.
Yeah.
But after a year, you look in the mirror, compare yourself to the first year. You're like, wow, I'm you know, it's starting to pay off.
Yeah.
But this is the first time that I'm like, okay, I can't take time off.
Yeah.
I take days off, but I don't take weeks off. I don't take months off. I take a couple days off and then I get back into it, hit, you know, 2 mics, you know. I try to hit like 2 or 3 mics whenever I do go out. And you know, that's all I can do right now. And I just got to stay with it. I just got to keep my mentality like you're learning, you're getting better, just keep going.
Yeah. And that's fine to do. You know, like I think we live in I always say the holy trinity of really fucking stupid religions is, you know, it's Judaism, Islam, and Christianity. And I say that because they taught, you know what dualism is? It's like what affected from the Middle East north to Europe and all the way to the Western world. Western dualism, it's all about everything is black or white, left or right, us versus them. Yeah. And so when you think about it, people go like, oh man, you got to keep hitting the mics. So you think to yourself, well, I either better go every day of the week or I'm a piece of shit. And it's like, the truth is, find your cruise control. Right.
My cruise control is 4 days.
Yeah.
It's 4 days. I got to do 4 days.
Because just like the gym, I mean, can you do...
I get burnt out.
Yeah,
I try to go to the gym at least 3 days a week.
You know, one of the people I love right now, I came up, he was doing it maybe a year longer than I was AJ Leidick. Yeah. We came from Josephine's. We were doing, that was our like home mic. Yeah. And I remember when I was at first, he was saying, oh man, I did 460 mics a year. And obviously now it paid off because he's fucking popping. He's working with Nate Bargatze now. Yeah. But it was, I was just like, I realized, I mean, I don't want to say, like, he went through some shit where it made him slow down. You know, you're doing comedy, but shit happens in life. Right. Whether your fucking car gets wrecked or you get hit by a car, whatever. Yeah. And I think that when he slowed down and had that recovery time, it was like, oh, wait a minute. I don't have to be like this autistic Mark Normand level where sometimes it's just like the quality over the quantity. Right. You know? And I think that's what it is. That first 2 years, it's about hitting as many mics as possible until you catch your voice in a bottle. And then once you got that, then you can have recovery time.
Yeah, then you can spew whatever you want out and turn anything into funny. And that's where I'm getting to. I think I found my voice, maybe. and I try to get up there and try to do new stuff sometimes, and sometimes it bombs. Most times it bombs, and sometimes it doesn't. And then like what I try to do is just feel comfortable enough, and I think because I was an educator for so long, I'm comfortable in front of people. I'm comfortable hearing my voice, and so I think it lended to me getting past that level of uncomfort.
Yeah.
But now it's just a matter of finding time to write.
Yeah.
Because I'm so lazy when it comes to that shit. I think that's everyone's Achilles heel is like allocating time to sit down and write. Yeah. So now I walk my dog. We go on 2 walks a day, and I don't take my phone. I go to the gym, and the showers, the steam room. Those are the times where I think a lot, and then I'm like, cool, let me write this down. So then I write stuff down. I get a skeleton of what it is, and I go out on stage and I try it out. Again, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I'm building, and that's this game. You can't force it. Like you said, you can't force it, and you just got to keep at it. But man, I got to get out of here soon.
Yeah, it's all good. Do you? I just want to ask, like, did you have like a top 3 that you looked up to?
Yeah, I love Bill Burr.
Yeah,
I love Bill Burr. I love Chris Rock, Richard Pryor, all the greats. But right now, Shane Gillis is funny to listen to. Theo Vaughn, I like. Who else? I mean, there's really those are pretty much it. Fortune Feimster.
Yeah,
she's fucking hilarious. I don't know if you listen to her, but I like the storytellers. She does a great job of painting a picture of her life.
Yeah,
and she's so vulnerable when she's on stage. She makes fun of herself.
Yeah,
but the one thing I enjoy about her style is she paints a picture. Like, I don't know any of her family members, but in my head, they live there when she's telling the story.
Yeah.
So she's painted like Kevin Hart did the same thing with his dad, with his friends growing up, whatever.
Being the short guy.
Yeah, it's people like Mark Norman I like, but he's a setup punchline guy, which is great.
Yeah.
Some of them are funny, but that's not what I like.
Yeah.
I don't like
people want to know who you are.
Yeah, I want to know more of that. But to each their own, everyone has who they like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Fortune Feimster. I like, Shane Gillis.
That's the funny thing is, like, I had to separate storytelling from comedy because like I'm doing this, like, right now, if I did everything I wrote on Polish, it would be like 45 minutes. And what bothered me? I don't know. I'm just sharing that. I don't know if anybody else had this, but like you said, like writing, right? And finding your voice. What bothered me is like there'd be so much stories that I wanted to share, but they didn't hit. And I was like, but I want to keep that. And then I'd have all these fucking sets that aren't getting laughs. I like the only advice that I would ever give is like, dude, if it gets laughs, who gives a fuck what you think about it?
Exactly.
It gets laughs. Who gives a fuck? If it's pulling your nutsack out on stage, it gets laughs.
It's like basketball, man. You look like Bill Cartwright shooting a basketball, or Joakim Noah.
Yeah.
Or what's this guy's name? Simmons.
Yeah.
They have horrible shot form. No one would ever teach that form.
Yeah.
But if it goes in, and it goes in, consistently, stick with it, man.
Yeah.
That's about it, man. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, man.
Appreciate you having me, bro. Appreciate you having me, man. Yeah, of course.
Sure, dude.
Thank you. Fuck
Whatever.
yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Fuck
Immigrant handshake.